still don't know how. I'm not sure how they do all this. How do people play music on this shit? Like, cause I wanted to do that. I wanted to, but then I chose not to. Like, I wanted to do it, and it's just like I wanted to do it. I wanted to play music, but then the thing is you know how it is like copyright stuff. It's just like, how does TikTok get around? Why is it that TikTok can't make it that you can like add your Spotify or something so that way it's like they know that you have music and you're paying for a subscription. That way you can just get the music. Because usually you just asking for music and you got a bunch of people that play music, but I started noticing that a lot of people don't play music on their lives no more. And if it's not, it's something like something calm and smooth that nobody can like, got no words in it, but then, people, trust me, people copyright stuff for nothing. So, but it's whatever. Um, What's the yeah, I've been having a ball with with this whole DC street cleaning thing. Like, man, as a military veteran, you've already experienced this. The crazy thing is just like anytime you see that like National Guard gets activated or something, it's usually like for like an actual mission. Like they're actually gonna be doing something. Like they actually like if they're on like but that's the thing. The funny thing is that most people don't understand that there's two different titles that they're under. There's Title 10 and then there's Title 32. And Title 32 is basically that they can be kind of controlled by the federal government. But the difference is that when you have states, the state is basically the commander in chief of that National Guard. The commander in chief of the federal government, like the active duty military, is Donald Trump. And a lot of people seem to not understand that. He's using Title 32 to basically usurp the power, but that's because it's in the District of Columbia. It's in DC. He can't pull that off with other states. And I don't think MAGA seems to understand the fact that it's just like you can't take your military from your state and throw them into another state. You just can't. It's not allowed. It's the same. Like the one thing that confuses me the most about people is just like, do you not notice the same way how police only have jurisdiction within their state lines? So if you on a high speed chase and you end up dipping past and go across the state, the cops stop. The cops don't cross over to the state, or they do, and then they just get to the exit because they know if they arrest you, nothing comes from it. They can't arrest you in a different jurisdiction. Let alone the National Guard doesn't have the jurisdiction or the capabilities of arresting people. So exactly how is it that they are assisting with the crime? You just got them standing. Like, who's going to stop committing a crime just because somebody's standing there in a uniform? And they can't arrest them. They can't put their hands on them. They can't really do anything to them. So what exactly was the point of bringing the National Guard? Mind you, what I don't understand also is a lot of these red states have that problem. A lot of these red states have crime-filled cities. So you have crime-filled cities, but you decide that you're going to take your National Guard, and you know what? I'm going to just ship them over to DC. Mind you, you probably have a city in your own state that is terrible, has more crime than DC. Yet you're taking money, because supposedly it's federally funded. That's the part I want to see. I want to see their pay. Because the thing is as active duty or in the military, everybody knows that once you get to 29 days, this shit is done. If you've been to NTC, JRTC, whatever training or whatever you did, you go out to the field, they always hit them, or they hit you with the bullshit that basically at the 29th day, they call you back. Because the thing is if you get to the 30th day, you would end up getting separation pay. Because separation pay is paid at the 30-day mark when any service member is away from their family on mission or on deployment orders, like basically the National Guard is. So basically they're going to screw these people over and probably keep them for 29 days. And then on the 29th day, they're going to be like, oh, we're going to send you back. And then what's going to happen? They're probably going to be going back for a day, and then next thing you know, the National Guard is going to be deployed again right back the day after. Because basically what they're going to do to these people is like, hey, we're going to use you for 29 days. We're going to make sure you don't get to 30 so that we don't have to pay you extra. We're going to send you back on the 30th day. But then on the 31st day, we're going to send you back over again. But we're going to do it in a way where it's not continuous. Because remember, on the 30th day, you were back home. But 31st day, what would have been the 31st day is now going to be day one. So most people don't understand that's how the military is going to treat these people. And you got to remember the difference between having National Guard and having active duty is that National Guard has lives. Not saying that active duty don't, but National Guard has lives. They do this on a one weekend a month. They don't do this all the time. They're not on it like every single time. And it's just like, you look at it in that way, like, okay, if these people had to leave their jobs, they left their families, because the thing is by law, they cannot lose that job. So literally they have their jobs. They're going to be able to keep their jobs because that's the thing with being in the National Guard. If you are put on any deployment orders or anything like that, you have the ability to keep your job. You cannot, by law, your employer cannot fire you because of the fact that you got put on deployment or you got activated. So that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand. It's just like, they still have their jobs. The problem is that they're not getting paid from their job. So if you had a pretty good job and now you got deployed to DC to pick up trash, and MAGA's like, yeah, they're cleaning up crime. I was just like, was the trash cans fighting people? Was the trash cans mobbing and robbing people? Was it the fucking Burger King rappers and McDonald's rappers flying across the street that was hurting people? Because remember, you did have that Air Force veteran that threw that sandwich at that ICE. Was it ICE? I can't even make sure who it was he threw it to. I'm not. They never clarify. I didn't get the good visual of seeing who it was that he actually hit with that sandwich. But the fact is that that man got at least a block away running from these people. This dude does not look like he was in the best shape of his life. This dude hit him with the sandwich and took the fuck off. And everybody started chasing him. And you see all these out of weight damn officers and FBI. It was just like, I understand that they may be trying to get them fit by trying to have them walk outside more and stay out the office. But come on, man. It's crazy. Well, another thing that don't make sense, right? Wasn't the whole thing to bring everybody back to the office? Wasn't that what they were just complaining about the whole fucking time? That they wanted to make sure all the federal workers were in office? So all federal workers had to go back into office, but now you kick them outside to walk the streets of the most dangerous city in the world, I guess. Because if you listen to Stephen Miller, according to that, there's places in the Middle East that are less dangerous than Washington, D.C. And the thing is I'm trying to figure out, because the thing is there's no actual proof that there's that much crime. The same way every single city that he said has had so much bad crime and all this, and then MAGA just eats it up. It's just like, how do you work with these people? Well, you can't work with these people because clearly, even if you tell them what you need to tell them, they don't understand. They don't pay attention. They don't want to listen to anybody. Appreciate you, Deja. And it's just like, you got to think about it like, damn, how the hell is it that you got so many idiots actually believing this shit? See, and that's the funniest thing about MAGA is that MAGA will try to misconstrue whichever way to try to prove a point. If the murder, see, because this is what I'm gonna answer to this dumbass. If your murder rate was the fucking concern, wouldn't you send the National Guard to the states that have the worst actual crime? Because last I checked, St. Louis was one of the most dangerous cities in the US. And that's in fucking Missouri, a red state. Funny how MAGA is only like, oh, you don't care about the murder rate. I guess you don't unless it's in a state that don't belong to you. Because it's always, hey, what's going on in the blue state? Mind your business, bro. Why y'all so nosy? Why the fuck is y'all so nosy? Can y'all explain that? I've never found out why MAGA is so fucking nosy. Deja, I appreciate you. It's just like, man, how nosy that you gotta be that it's just gonna be, oh my God, California did something else. New York did something else. Oh shit, Maryland did. Like, bro, do y'all ever mind y'all business? I've never seen a bunch of more nosiest motherfuckers than y'all. Y'all just stay nosy for no fucking reason. All y'all do is pay attention to somebody else's shit besides your own. Maybe this is it. Maybe if MAGA were to decide to actually pull themselves up by the bootstraps and not mind everybody else's business, maybe y'all wouldn't be in the fucking holes y'all in. Maybe you wouldn't be some of the poorest states. Maybe you shouldn't have such stupid ass people in your states. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Oh my God, here it comes. It's just like, it's funny. With MAGA, the first thing they want to call somebody is a communist, right? You want to call somebody a communist, but there you were on your knees when that stimulus check came out. There you were on your knees when they mentioned that you were going to get a Doge check. You were definitely on your knees when they said they were going to give you $1,000 for fucking a baby. And I'm the communist? You the one here slobbing on the knob just for any time you get a handout. Getting handouts is communist. You grab that stimulus check. You don't want anybody to get handouts, but when they say they're going to give you money, oh shit. Crazy. Crazy. You know how crazy that is? That every single time, it's funny how y'all try to come in and gaslight, but y'all haven't made any fucking sense. Bro wants to call me, wants to talk about fucking the murder rate, and then doesn't want to talk about anything about the red states having the higher murder rates across the country. Wants to talk about being a communist, but then always asking for handouts and waiting for the government to give them something. Cause damn, the same ones that y'all were like, oh, give us what? What did y'all say? Oh, give us what? No tax on tips? So you don't want to pay taxes. Oh, okay. Oh, 19 approval rating. Yet Gavin Newsom has higher than that. So how is it that y'all found a 19% rating, but Gavin Newsom is trending towards 40? Where y'all get y'all math from, man? Is it another red state stupidity again? It gotta be, because there's no way y'all know how to add. There's no way y'all know how to add. That's been proven already throughout the past couple of decades. It's been shown that red states don't know how to add. Red states don't know how to mind their business. Red states is always concerned over what the Democratic state is doing over worrying about what their own people are doing. Mind you, you've been in a Republican state for the past 2 decades and you blaming Democrats. That's how we know you stupid. There's no fixing. Like, how do you figure that out? How you keep blaming Biden, Obama, fucking Bill Clinton, and your state has been Republican for all of those presidents, including the Republican ones. You were broke during Trump's first administration. You were broke again during Biden's administration. You still broke now. That has nothing to do with the president. Stop being lazy. Stop blaming everybody but yourself. That's why we can't move forward in this country, because we have to drag your stupidity with us to get anywhere. Y'all the same people that forget, oh my God, we get subsidized by these blue states. This is look, I'm gonna put it easier for the idiots here. If you come from a state that has a minimum wage of $7.25, right? Which is every one of your dumb red states. Got it, right? And you have a population of, let's say, 9 million. 9 million, right? 9 million times 7.25, right? You telling me that somehow that state that has 9 million people gets paid $7.25 is paying more taxes than a state that has 40 million and their minimum wage is $15? So literally it takes two of you to account for one Californian. And you're going to tell me that you pay taxes more than California does. You're going to tell me that you don't get subsidized. You're going to tell me that you that dumb to not understand that it takes two people in your state to equal the taxes that one person is paying. Mind you, you only got 9 million. The biggest, dumbest state is probably like 9 million people. So you only have 9 million people getting paid at $7.25, but somehow the Democratic states that have $15 as their minimum wage somehow don't pay more than you do. Somehow California pays $80 billion over what they make to make sure your red state gets fucking funding. But somehow Democrats is the problem. But I understand now, Democrats ain't the problem. The problem is that most of the time, Republicans blame Democrats. But I understand it's because y'all concerned. I understand why, because MAGA's concerned. You know why? Because if California were to actually go broke, that means you don't get your funding. So now I understand why it is that these red states is always on their knees and swallowing Trump. It makes sense because if your red state doesn't get the support from the blue state, you don't get any money. Most of y'all are subsidized. If you have farmers, you getting subsidized by the federal government. So if you in any one of these states that's a farmland state and it's red, you getting subsidized by the federal government. If you have anybody that you know on Medicaid, Medicare, that's being funded by the federal government. Because remember, Medicaid has federal funding at the federal level and it has it at the state level. Yet, y'all don't even have the money to pay for it. It was just like, imagine saying that the Democrats lost because they were actually intelligent about this shit. But Republicans won't say they were too stupid to vote for nothing because they haven't received anything. Like, what have y'all done? What? Please, when any tourist comes to the fucking United States, right? I never heard of a red state being the first one they want to go visit. Why is that? Y'all don't even get tourism money. The only places that go is what? Texas and Florida. And Texas be broke too, even though they got all that oil. Because what? They be robbing you of all the money. They rob you of all the money. They ain't taking it from anybody else. Because the funny thing is you notice how Democrats ain't complaining? the, 26 billion surplus in what? Oh, I forgot. You talking about tariffs, right? Tariffs? That's where you making your surplus at? Only MAGA will be like, yes, we made money off of tariffs. That you paid, you fucking dumbass. You paying for it. Every number that he said that we've actually gotten, that's crazy. Bragging about Americans paying more. Yeah, I actually can brag about paying more. You know why? Because I actually have the care I need. I actually have hospitals. I actually have schools that don't have to worry about kids eating lunch. I have states that can afford to pay and take care of people that get abortions or need women's health care of anything. That's the difference with blue states and red states. Y'all don't got any money. You don't got any money. You mad because every other person in every other state makes more than you, does more than you, receives more than you, and y'all still crying after they still helping pay for your shit. The craziest thing will be when MAGA will be like, yo, I don't want my taxes to go to people's kids to eat. Bro, you want your taxes ain't paying nobody else's shit. Your taxes is just trying to make your state survive. It's Democratic states that have to give their surplus to your dumbasses because nobody goes to these dumbass broke states. Who the fuck says, yes, I'm gonna go visit Mississippi? Who the fuck says, oh shit, first stop, West Virginia? Who the fuck says I'm gonna go to Oklahoma with their what 50th in fucking education? That's wild. Y'all can't even survive that. Imagine the fact that y'all can't even survive that simplicity of. Oh my God, my man said West Virginia is beautiful. It can be beautiful, but it's full of stupid people. So that makes it ugly. It's just like, imagine going to a nice scenery and then you gotta listen to some dumbasses talk. Like, come on, bro. Ain't nobody want that shit. Nobody wants that shit. Nobody wants y'all. The only people, yo, Republicans can't even stand y'all. You know what that is? That your own party don't like you? The only reason the party likes you is because they know y'all dumb as rocks. Your own president said, I love the poorly educated. And y'all clap. You know what that is? That you get called stupid and you clap about it? I've never seen that before. That's like a first time thing that I've seen somebody get called to their face stupid and then they all got up and started clapping. Started clapping. Like, who does that? Where do they do that at? Where do they do that at? What place you go to, you get called stupid and you clap? Come on, man. Y'all. My man's like, oh, because no one cares what you think. But my man has still been here for the past, what, 15 minutes? Still running his mouth? Damn. What you gotta say, man? You don't care what I say, but you still here. My man even clocked himself for entertainment. Nah, bro, you just trying to get educated. Don't lie to people. You don't gotta come in here and lie, talk about, oh, I don't care about what you gotta say, but you still here clocking me. Who the fuck says you don't want to listen to somebody and you stay there? Bro, the embarrassing person is you. You haven't even said anything worthwhile and you've been here for 6 minutes. How you been here the whole time and nobody pays attention to you? And James is like, oh my God, rage bait. Bro, you are the 50th ranked out of 51 in education in Oklahoma. My man, nobody's gonna come to you for answers. Who the fuck is gonna say, oh shit, you from Oklahoma? Yeah, he got the answers. Nobody. If you're on the bottom half of the fucking country, nobody's gonna come to you to answers. Why you think they never have anyone from MAGA up on a fucking... What? Yo, I just realized that. How come you haven't seen any MAGA get interviewed lately? Y'all notice that? Y'all haven't seen any red Trump wearing hat at any point on Fox News, on MSNBC, on CNN, on fucking Newsweek. They don't even fucking interview y'all anymore because of how dumb y'all are. At first it was like, yeah, go Trump, go Trump. Damn, Fifth. Why you had to do that to him? But Fifth, you came in and chose violence today, huh? Damn, bro. God damn. My man came in and violent. He was just like, nah, I ain't playing that shit today. We had enough of y'all. That's why I said we gotta move past y'all. Just like, bro, Jade, I'm saying I can't even. Bro, how your first response is you got 8 followers in your bot, bro? Because you ain't got nothing else to say. You had to go fucking look at his profile to try to say something. You can't even defend the fact that he said that shit. You couldn't say anything against being 50th in the country. You can't even say anything about child marriage in the same thing. I was just like, that's crazy. Oh, he wants me to moderate better. I imagine asking me to moderate better, but you a bitch and you still in the fucking comments and haven't requested up. Hot damn. Hot damn. MAGA never has anything to fucking say. Because you just called me names. Damn. Look like a bitch, sound like a bitch, act like a bitch, must be a bitch. That's plain and simple. That's easy analytical fucking thinking. It was just like, yo, the crazy thing is MAGA wants to stay here. And what did the shit say? Time to move forward without MAGA, and then MAGA's still here. Now, how stupid do you got to be that it tells you that we moving on without you, and you still here? This isn't for you. This chat isn't for you. Go to your circles where they actually make you think you sound smart. This isn't for you, my dude. You over here trying to get attention and trying to gaslight, and you suck at it. You couldn't even do it yourself. Like, bro, co-host. How about that? You got enough followers. Join so we can see your followers against my followers, and we can see how stupid you sound. Oh no, you don't want to do that either. Oh, well, he's scared. He's scared. Oh, come on, man. Y'all just fucking pussies. Come up with everything possible to say I'm a bitch. Like, bro, just say it. You don't gotta fucking beat around the bush. Like, bro, the request line is open. That's damn, it's open. Ain't nobody requesting but y'all. Y'all still in here, like, bro, ain't nobody wanting to talk to y'all. Bro. Bro, I'm not a grifter like you fucking Republicans. I'm not fucking Donald Trump where I'm doing everything for myself and then say I'm helping the uneducated. Because mind you, you haven't gotten anything. You gloating about Donald Trump winning because he is winning. His fucking net worth has almost doubled since he's gotten into office. Yours has gone down. How do you explain that? How do you explain having more money? Well, yeah, because remember, under Donald Trump they were making more money. And then when Joe Biden took over, they were making less money, even though the same tax brackets have been in place since Donald Trump signed them. But somehow you became broke during the same tax brackets as Joe Biden. How the fuck does that make sense? How does that make sense? How you in the same tax brackets and you made more money? Oh, inflation. Inflation, huh? Who caused the inflation with the tax cuts and the lack of revenue? Biden? That's who you gonna blame? Because last I checked, Biden was actually trying to raise the tax rate on these people. And what did y'all say? No, we don't want the rich to pay more. Cause I'm still broke and I believe I'm gonna become a millionaire at the end of the day, but I'm gonna get taxed more, but I'm gonna let them not get taxed as much. Come on, man. Y'all can't be serious, man. You just can't be serious. It was just like y'all look at every single situation. Y'all look at every single situation, but then fucking Republicans won't even sit with you, bro. MAGA don't even like MAGA. Y'all don't even hang out together. How the fuck y'all want to say the Democratic parties is fucking falling apart, but Republicans don't even have fucking MAGA in any conversations? That's crazy. Republicans don't even acknowledge y'all. These bots come in harder than ever to try to say something, and they're worthless. Like how you a bot don't have any good information. All you try to do is gaslight. Haven't said any. You know how you've been on my nuts this whole time and haven't stated an actual fact? Not one fact. Not one fact. Oh my God. Look, the anonymous truther, another cockswallower. God damn it, bro. Y'all just love that shit, don't y'all? Y'all just, oof, man. Y'all just slob on the knob. Huh? I could already tell you not even fucking American, because you're going to hit me with some bullshit that the inflation was caused mostly by the Russian and Ukraine war, which you blame on fucking Biden too, right? Y'all blame that on Biden too. Y'all blame another country going in and invading another country on another country. Sounds like the MAGA shit to do. MAGA goes broke, but they blame Democrats for going broke. Don't that sound the same? Don't that sound exactly the same? I can't buy eggs. I can't pay for gas because Biden. Don't that sound the same? Isn't this the hardworking, work all the time people? Isn't this the pull yourself up by the bootstraps idiots? Come on, bro. Bro, been hiding the whole fucking time. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, come on, man. It was just like, it gets to the point where I'm just starting to block them because it's just like, you not man enough to actually jump into the chat, first off. So you're not man enough to jump into the chat. I know that once you come on, all you're going to do is gaslight, because if you haven't been able to state an actual fact while in chat, what makes you think you have the intelligence to actually speak it? Because the thought process is, if you actually typed it, that means you had to think it in your head before you pressed it with your fingers. And you were still too stupid to come up with anything good. So you think I'm going to waste my time and put you on the live and try to listen to stupidity through the... Come on, bro. Serenity, I got rid of him. I blocked him. It was just like you could always tell. It's always the dumbest MAGAs that always want to be the loudest. The dumbest MAGA wants to be the loudest. It's just like, yo, y'all not smart. Y'all really not. Y'all try to play smart because y'all listen to Charlie Kirk. Y'all listen to fucking Joe Rogan. And look, both of them have just disappeared off the fucking map because of how stupid they look. Y'all just right there next to him. Y'all thought Charlie Cook was cooking and he couldn't even beat a fucking 20-year-old that's a grown-ass man. Are you fucking serious? This is who y'all got fucking teaching y'all? This is who y'all got... This is who y'all listening to. Lord. He said... yeah. Yeah. What's up, Fifth?
Hello, fellow
You,
Americans.
you killed me with that shit, bro. That statement, bro,
Do
that
my
shit
best. So I'm going to give you the absolute truth. So I barely have any followings on this account because my main account was again flagged and banned. I am America's fifth favorite son at the moment. My name is Derek Trump. I'm actually
Okay.
the less handsome but way smarter twin of Eric
Oh,
Trump. See, Donald
oh.
had
The,
my
the the
father.
the one that was doing that stuff to his nose at that press conference in the wide open, that one? That same Trump?
That was Donnie because Donnie likes to go
Oh, that was
off the rails.
Donnie. Oh, okay,
He
okay.
likes to go
I
off
get him
the rails
confused. I'll get him confused. So,
more on the rails than Tony Hawk at a skate park.
yeah,
And
dang.
and anyways,
And that man can
so
skate.
I so I'm a product of father's genetic testing. See, he's been trying to get a more clone-like child, and I was a failure, and so was Eric. But Baron is the closest copy he has come to yet.
Bro,
And
I
then
can tell why
eventually
MAGA hates you.
he's going to implant. Yes, see, I am the smarter of the family. I wish he would pull out of politics so he can we could actually unite as a family. And it's sad. I've basically been located in a location undisclosed, and and unfortunately,
My
it's
bad.
been a rough time. I can't let them know what's going on. Uh, but I've
The
been
family
given.
got to speak out, Nikki. The family has to speak out. Somebody has to. Somebody has to. The family is just like, look, you notice they don't
I
say
have to watch
anything.
what I say though now because I mean my father is a fierce man. I mean he divorced my mother downstairs and then he divorced the gardener from her grave plot.
Yeah, I can already tell they get you what they get you for. I can already tell what you Yo, this is. I need you need to come more often, man. You
I
invited.
have my
You
mother
invited.
in this sweet picture. The only picture I've been allowed. So yeah, that's the only time I've been out in public. Since then, it's kind of like a man in the iron mask situation.
So, so I got a question for you. Then I got a question for you. How do you feel about this DC situation? How do you feel about having all this National Guard and this I wouldn't say police state because it would have to be police, but all this federal agencies just walking around DC. Is it really that bad out there?
Tell you what, everyone's able to go out with their watches on and windows
Oh,
down, and
oh, in their
all it takes
cars? Wow.
out in public, all it takes is knock knock, who's there? Show me your papers.
Oh, that's what it is. That's why they want to do it that way because they don't have the ability to do that in any other state. Because
Yeah, but the
Washington
way they're
D.C. isn't
treating
even a
it,
state if you think about it.
it, it, it
Mm,
if you
that's crazy.
the way they're treating it is if you have light complexion, there's no objection to whether you can just drive around.
But if you have darker complexion, you got to be on a bike or something, or they can't ride bicycles either. Is that frowned
Uh,
upon in DC right now too? Because I don't know. Because the thing is, it's kind of hard because MAGA Fox News doesn't actually show you anything. MAGA's the first ones because one of the biggest things that I did notice because I follow a bunch of veterans because I'm a veteran myself. So I saw that there was a whole occupation of military veterans that were actually standing at Union Station. So they were actually sitting there and just basically like a protest, nothing wild or anything. They were just sitting there. From what I heard and from what I saw, the National Guard ended up disappearing and leaving those areas wherever those veterans were located at.
oh, absolutely, because there were excellent deals at B Dubs right around the corner, and my boys got
Well,
some cheap ass
well,
wings.
did they get paid though? Because I know. Look, trust me, I know how this
Oh
National
no, they haven't
Guard
paid
things
for it.
work.
There's no reimbursements, right? Their servitude is reward enough, just like teachers. Although
The,
we're scrapping them too for A1 teaching.
cause I know, cause the thing is with a lot of the National Guard, like a lot of people don't understand this about being in the military, right? So when you're in the military, if you get like deployed or get put on orders like the National Guard is right now, once you hit 30 days, you get an extra pay. So once you get to 30 days, you get an extra pay because it's called separation pay. And you also get sometimes you get other allowances that get thrown on top of that because of the fact that you've been gone for more than 30 days. So what most people don't know, most people that are not never served in the military or never been around the military is that most likely what's going to happen is that these National Guard troops are going to be there for 29 days picking up trash.
Yes,
At that
it is it's a misuse of our people. That is for sure. But as far as for meals, I mean, honestly, from I've heard Spitfire ideas from Hexeth and all that that we can do like subway punch cards for every migrant you get on like for seventh, and then on the eighth migrant you finally get a free sandwich. I
I
mean,
would
we're
that wouldn't surprise me, but at the rate that they're
it's
going, because they're
ridiculous.
getting desperate. all these bounty hunters that they're deputizing. Because the funny thing is I asked a question about that. It was just like, if you got deputized as an ICE agent, right? Wouldn't that mean that you would actually have some sort of documentation or like an actual badge that showed you were a part of ICE or any
Oh no,
federal position?
it was extreme because I saw a bounty hunter, and I mean he had a mask on, but I mean I saw the mullet, long hair, blonde hair, and I was like, "Is that dog the bounty hunter as Ice? That's insane."
Because that's the thing. That's what people ain't realizing. A lot of these people are not federal officers. These
Oh
are
no,
people
no,
that are
they are
getting paid as bounty hunters. So literally, if a bounty hunter comes at you without a warrant, you have the right to defend yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Because if they don't identify themselves, yeah. But then,
But that's the thing. Even if they did identify themselves,
go ahead and say that
even if a bounty hunter identifies themselves, just because they identified themselves doesn't mean they can put their hands on you. They still have to have a warrant for your arrest to be able to be a bounty hunter in that capacity. If they don't have a warrant, don't identify themselves, they are not actually federal agents and they are not actually on the job. Because in order to be a bounty hunter, that would mean that you are actually going after people you have a signed warrant for. Otherwise, you wouldn't get paid.
well, that's according to standard law and order standards. If we were actually
Well,
upholding
yeah, you're right.
all
You're
laws
right.
as
You're
written,
right.
and and but the thing is,
You're right. You're right.
new
You're
game.
right.
It's all it's. I mean, it's it's all changed.
Yeah, because the thing is that they're not listening to anything. But the thing is that most people aren't educated on that fact. Most people don't understand that. The thing is that you have people that are immigrants, whether undocumented or not, or going through the process of being legal or not. And these people are being run up by people that have fake police, fake FBI, fake ICE, fake. I've seen HSI, I've seen FBI, I've seen every single damn fake Velcro. But these people don't have badges and they don't show thing. But they're going against people that are actually law-abiding citizens. But they haven't been capturing. I still, you know what's crazy? I still haven't. Maybe you got some inside info on this, but have you heard of any MS-13 rings or Tres de Agua rings or any gang
Well, I've
consolidation
been
or
hearing
anything of the sort?
they're saying that the some of the gangs are there, but they're saying that the headquarters of the gangs are in the areas of Venezuela and such, which is why they're sending their naval units there because that is going to be our, let's say it, folks, Vietnam. We're going to send 4,000 troops there. They're going to get scrapped, and we get a full war because when when Father Trump was at the meeting with Zelensky and he caught wind that he could what pause an election if there's a war. And if we're going to be invaded by cartel and we go to
And
war with cartel, even though we don't have a way of
But
pausing the
but the
election,
thing, yeah, that's
that's
the thing.
fine.
That's the fallacy of it. Because even during World War II, we still had elections. So I
Yeah,
don't
but
understand why that thought process would even think like, bro, it was a world war. It wasn't a made up war. Imagine the
oh, it's
fact that you got to
absolutely true.
send people to Venezuela to get MS-13 and Tres de Aguas, even though they're from El Salvador.
And here's the thing, because we're actually going to eventually creep into El Salvador, but
Ah,
this is
okay. It's to start in Venezuela and then work their way. Got it. Okay. That makes
exactly
more
the
sense because I was just trying to figure out because I'm like, MS-13 is a Salvadorian gang because weren't we sending them to CCOT? And then what happened
well,
with
I
that?
mean, we're sending people to Uganda, so we really don't even matter. We're just throwing dartboards at
No,
locations.
no, I know. But the thing is you notice how nobody's asked those questions of what happened with sending them to CCOT?
Well, they had issues with CCOG because Americans have an access to something called Google Earth. Then they
Oh,
saw a
yeah, because
list
they were
of
showing a
the
bunch of like
names,
stuff
and
there,
they found
right? Just like, yeah.
the mass
Yeah.
grave sites, and it got a little hairy there. But so
But,
that's why we're taking
but
our
what I
human
don't,
trafficking, we're taking our transfer of migrants
but
elsewhere.
but the thing
It's
is
more
the part I
profitable.
don't understand is just like damn. So the U.S. basically stopped sending people to CCOC because Americans did this, but here we are still funding Israel. How does MAGA explain that?
Well, see, the whole Israel thing, we're basically, in a way, propping them up because some of the people like Mike Johnson and a few others, they have their alliances with Israel, but they plan on
Yeah,
kind of basically subverting them because they believe in this whole weird rapture thing. And
well,
basically,
yeah,
it's
because
just
wasn't he like last week there doing some like cattle sacrifice or some shit?
oh yes, 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 yes. See, that
I heard about
actually
that too. I was
entails
just like,
with the whole Venezuelan invasion because once we go
oh,
there to El Salvador and rest of South America, and then once we have the southern continent, we're going to look towards more of the northern continent. This was actually part of the Heritage Foundation plan. This was like late '80s, early '90s, now
ah,
being revamped. They want to see. We're going to back away from Ukraine, let them, just let Russia muddle up Ukraine, take it all again, maybe even go after Poland, because what we'll do is we'll expand our area so they have the USSR. They have four letters, one more letter than USA. We don't like that. We like MAGA. We like four letters. So they're going with this, the UCCA, the
the
United
youth.
Christian Conscience of America, and
Oh
that just has
boy,
a ring to it that they really like.
this is gonna be a shit ass decade.
It's going to be
This
rough, and not only that.
this is gonna
Here's
be a
the
shit
other
ass
one. To give
decade,
you
man.
inside
Fuck.
information, I had to stop eating my favorite McDonald's. Dad loves his McDonald's because they're ramping up these, let's just say these homeless shelters, as you say. They're ramping up all these people. Well, they're going to be doing partnerships with certain businesses, and yeah, they'll offer them like labor. But the thing is, um, you're going to see a supply of a lot more, let's say, quote unquote, mystery meat. I'm not going to say Soylent Green, but I'm going to secretly say Soylent Green. And Dad loves his McDonald's. And if they can't figure out where to put these homeless people, well, as the motto of Republicans, waste not, what not. You thought they liked the deer off a backstrap? Oh, buddy. You get them in
the,
international waters,
the,
you find out what they
I'm
really like.
laughing, but the thing is I actually believe you. That's the problem. That's the fucking problem. Like I actually
I
believe
know.
this shit. It wouldn't be far fetched to me. I wouldn't find it far fetched because the thing is like these people do things like with this
I mean,
whole
look, they've been eating the body of Christ and the blood of Christ for a long time. You don't think that they're not scared to eat the blood and body of another man? Think about that. They've been
you're
primed and
right.
pumped for it.
You're right. You are right. And then they're gonna go to church and just be like nothing happened. So
Hmm.
that is right. It's not surprising, but man, it's just a crazy thing to look at it. Like it's just like but how do we move forward with these people here? How does the
I
United
look at
States
it
move
this way.
forward?
It's hard to realize that I always thought, since I was young, that the darkest timeline was the timeline where Big Bird actually did go up on the Challenger ship and did blow up. Apparently, the timeline where he didn't blow up in a Challenger is the worst
Is what we're
timeline.
working on timeline. Well, this timeline is it's this timeline has started to like verge onto some shit that nobody was expecting. Cause the thing is, well, most of us did. If you voted Democrat, you knew some shit. You didn't think it was gonna be to this level, but you knew some stupidity was gonna happen and some fucking audacity of some people. But the thing is, it's just like I thought, even with all this dumb shit that's going on, trying to abuse their power but not abuse their power, trying to find loopholes but not abuse the loopholes. And then you have this dude that hits a police officer with a sandwich, and then the people in their own city don't even want to charge him or prosecute him. So, how does that
Yeah.
work for MAGA if the people that you need to actually get these people to go to jail don't want to put them in jail? What does MAGA do now? Like
Oh,
this shit,
well,
that shit threw a wrench in their fucking. That
we
shit threw the
pardon
biggest
violent
wrench.
insurrection, so it doesn't matter from there.
Well, no, because the thing is they can't prosecute them as anything. They can't prosecute
Exactly.
them. They're trying. They tried as a felony. They're trying everything possible. They're saying that it might have to be dropped to a misdemeanor because of the fact that they can't really do anything because the jury keeps on saying we will not prosecute this man. He threw a sandwich at somebody. Yeah. I'm mad it wasn't like a meatball sandwich. I told that. People don't even got to go strapped anymore. You don't have to have any weapons on you. Just have that damn meatball sandwich with some extra peppers and hot sauce in your pocket. A cop run up on you. That's it.
Well, apparently, I know that.
That's you don't even have to mace them because you hitting them with peppers and hot sauce with the meatballs, and that's disrespectful as fuck. And now they are just covered in all sauce. I don't think they're gonna be mad at that. And then they're gonna arrest the dude. They probably gonna beat the shit out the dude, and then the dude gonna go to court. He's not gonna get prosecuted, and then he's gonna sue the city for them beating his ass. So this is like a lose-lose situation, whichever way you look at it for MAGA.
He was the Jared we all deserve.
Damn. Isn't he still in jail?
Oh, yes.
Jared's still in jail, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a surprising one. They ain't give him a pardon.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and get out for the evening. Just Cruz, it was good getting to talk with you.
I appreciate you, my man.
Across your panel. And keep the truth alive.
I'll do the best I can, my man. I'll do the best I can. I appreciate you. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate the laughs, man.
All right, thanks God bless you, fellow Americans.
Thank you, man. Man, it's not many times I've had people on the live that they're just funny as fuck. I've never had somebody act like they were Donald Trump's fucking son and then just talk the same shit. Like, but it's like it's a valid question though. It's a valid question to ask. Like, yo, if this man threw a sandwich at because what was he? What was the officer? Was he FBI? Was he Homeland Security? Was he border? What was it? I couldn't identify what he was. What was that officer? What designation? Because the thing is the guy that threw the fucking sandwich. I swear, I wish it was a fucking meatball sandwich. Just fucking. Nah, I don't. Because I think if you slap him with a meatball sandwich and you had blood all over him, they're going to think you probably hurt him for real and you're going to get shot. So don't do that. Don't do the meatball sandwich. Or maybe leave the hot sauce out of it so they don't think they got pepper sprayed or some shit. But it's just a valid question because the thing is you know damn well that the Department of Justice and Pam Bondi was going to try to put this guy through, beneath, and as a part of the jail for what he did. But now the prosecutors can't prosecute him. So if you can't prosecute the dude that's committing the crime because the people in the city believe it wasn't a crime, what is MAGA gonna do now? Oh, that's right. We're gonna come up with bullshit. Like, we'll say an executive order that if you burn the American flag, you will be in jail for a year. Y'all heard that, right? Y'all remember that executive order? MAGA knows exactly what happened with that executive order. They know exactly. MAGA was just like, yeah, we're going to put them in jail. We're going to put them in jail. And then the funny thing is that dumbass MAGA doesn't recognize that was already fought in court and it was constitutionally and by the Supreme Court blocked that you have the First Amendment right to burn the flag. Now, do I agree with it? Fuck no. See, Aaron, I'm with you. I am not a fan of burning the American flag. I'm a U.S. veteran. I served for that flag. I fought alongside people for that flag. I don't believe it should be burned. But the thing is every single time I've seen it burned, it's not for shits and giggles. It's always something that is destroying what the United States actually stands for. Because when people were burning the flag when it was the Black Lives Matter, they were burning the flag not because they hated the U.S. They just hated the system that kept on portraying people of color as the enemy, people of color as criminals, people of color as second-class citizens. That's why they were burning the flag. People are burning the flag now. And who are they? It's people that are what? Of people of color descent. It's people that, hey, you're terrorizing people from their country. This is their country. But they came from another country because they thought this country was better. That's like the ultimate fucking praise to another fucking country. I can't stand my country enough that I'ma fucking go across fucking desert. I'ma go across fucking anything possible to get to the United States. If that isn't the highest fucking praise there is to a country, I don't know what the fuck is. Cause you don't hear about that anywhere else in the world where people are going through fucking desert, no food, no nothing, and they just trying to get to a better country to make a better living because they know the United States is that place. And then some of those, and most of them came here legally. And those that came here legally have been here legally. But they still remember the fact that they came from a different place. But the problem is that, oh yeah, the combat veteran, he burned it like literally, I think it was an hour after Donald Trump signed the executive order about burning the flag. There was an American veteran, I believe he served 22 years. Army veteran, he had retired. He went into, when you go to the White House, there's the White House and there's that like little park right in front of it. He went and burned the flag right in front of that. And when I gotta tell you, you got balls, that man got some balls. Some cojones, because those are some big cojones to do some shit like that. And that man gave no fucks. He's like, okay. He was like, I didn't do nothing wrong. It's the First Amendment right. Is it right? No. But why is he protesting? Because he feels that the 22 years of fucking service that he did are getting a slap in the face with the way this country is treating its citizens, treating its guests, just treating everybody. So it's not a big thing. Like, it is a big thing burning the flag. I still don't agree with it, but I do agree with it at the same time. Because these people are protesting. But these people ain't going into schools. We just had another fucking incident at a school. Just had another fucking incident. It was like, nah, that veteran don't give a shit. Most veterans, we don't give a shit. But the thing is we came up through discipline. We got discipline. We understood standards. We understood customs and courtesies. We understood regulations. Because that's how the military maintains itself. You got people from all fucking backgrounds serving this country. Some ain't even fucking citizens, and they chose to serve this country. Some are citizens, some fought for this country, some deployed for this country because they feel like they want to change their gender because that's how they feel. They feel that they shouldn't even get a fucking retirement check. You want to kick these people out of the military that serve proudly and honorably, and you don't want to give them a retirement check? And you want to talk about re-enlistments? Because re-enlistment numbers is good. But the thing is that what people don't talk about a lot when it comes to the military re-enlistments, because you'll always hear like MAGA, the MAGA veterans are always the ones like, yeah, retention is high. Numbers, and it was just like, yeah, I'm going to keep on scoring higher if I keep on putting the standards down. That's the no-brainer. Y'all weren't making retention numbers. Then all of a sudden, y'all brought down the number y'all needed. And then all of a sudden, boom, we've been making it ever since. It don't take a fucking rocket science to understand that. But if you ain't paying attention, you a MAGA dumbass, you gonna believe the shit. But that's why we can't just listen to MAGA anymore. You just gotta throw MAGA to the side. MAGA just has to be left alone to say whatever they want. Just leave them to the side. We can't talk to them no more. It was just like here, like, look, the dumbasses that were here, I ended up blocking them. TikTok don't push me as much anymore because before I used to debate them, and now it's just like, you know what? I ain't got time for them. It's just like, imagine trying to have a conversation. What's to come is laid out on the videos. All of them are saying it. The thing is the difference is, the big thing about it is that the United States, this is the one thing, because it's just like you do see a lot of comparisons. You see a lot of parallels to what was happening in Germany, right? The difference here is technology. The difference here is the United States is the #1 country with firearms. All of Europe didn't have firearms. Matter of fact, most people don't know the history dealing with the Holocaust. Most people have never gone to. Most people have. I've actually been to Auschwitz. I've actually been to Auschwitz. I actually spent my birthday at Auschwitz, which is crazy to fucking say. Crazy to fucking say. Everybody was just like, yo, who would go to Auschwitz? Why would you go to such a somber place for your birthday? And I was just like, you know what? I wanted to spend it alone, but I wanted to spend it in a place where I can learn. And a lot of people, because, the victors write the books, right? Everybody always just blames Germany. Fair point to blame them because they started it, but it is a fair point. But nobody ever talks about the fact that every other country in Europe gave up their Jewish people. They never teach you that. They never talk about that. They never talk about how all these European countries rounded them up, put them on trains, and sent them to the Germans. They don't talk about that part because that part isn't in our history books. But when I walk through fucking Auschwitz, Auschwitz literally has different buildings. And what they did as a memorial, well, it's not even a fucking memorial. Each building, they started dedicating it to a specific country. And when you walk into some of those buildings, bro, I think it was the Polish one. You walk in, it's nothing but their pictures. Literally, wall to wall, all the Polish people that were brought into Auschwitz, their pictures are all lined up on the wall. Like literally the whole, if you've seen how long those buildings were, it's literally lined up the whole way down with just their pictures. You go up to the second floor, it's all their shoes. But nobody tells you the fact that all of Europe was in on this. Everybody just says, oh, Germany did this, Germany did that. But nobody ever says, oh, the Netherlands sent theirs. The Polish sent theirs. The Italians sent theirs. The Portuguese sent theirs. Every other country in Europe sent all of their Jewish population to Germany because they didn't want to fight. They didn't have the ability to fight. They didn't have the military or the stuff that Germany had. So literally all of Europe said, you know what? We don't want no beef. We're not going to stop you. We're just going to round them up and we're going to send them to you. Whatever you do with them, that's your cause. We're not going to do that. Now, that's a different thing, which it's kind of the same thing that's happening here, right? Because you have the red states that have no problem with trying to round up people just to round them up, right? The main difference is the size of Europe and the size of the United States is not the same. I was stationed in Germany. I was an hour away from the Czech Republic to my east. For me to drive to, let's say, Spain, Portugal, or any one of those countries that's basically on the other side of Europe, in 6 hours I can make it over there driving. You can't even get halfway through Texas in 6 hours. Another thing, there's railway systems all across Europe. We don't got that in New York. The problem I do have is that what did Donald Trump just do? He says he's going to start controlling Amtrak. Which I've always had questions. It's like, y'all notice, the only time that people actually notice that the railway system is actually working is if they actually travel to the Midwest. People in big cities don't see trains unless it's the trains they get on. But if you continue with that notion, right? You have the Republican states, which are trying to make sure to round up whoever they can that's dangerous to them or a person of color. But then you have Democratic states that ain't having it. The difference between those things, the thing is like they're trying to take the same playbook and they're trying to maneuver it as best they can. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna militarize the police, we're gonna do the National Guard, and we're gonna do this. The thing is just like, yo, there's 300 million of us, and all 300 million ain't on the same side. And then they forget, because remember, because MAGA's always like, oh my God, all these, it was like 55 million immigrants that came in during Biden's, you know, they always fucking throw a crazy ass number. I was like, y'all forget, who y'all think they gonna side with? Who you think they gonna fight with? So if so many immigrants supposedly came in and y'all threatened them to put them in detention camps or deportation camps or threatening to send them to fucking Uganda? Uganda. It's not gonna end well. This is gonna be one of the saddest fucking presidencies ever because they're gonna try it. That's what they're trying to do with DC. They're trying to make it seem like, hey, it's okay to have police all over the place. They're trying to make it seem like it's acceptable for that. Well, how you come in to waste time just to say goodbye? Joe dumbass. What the fuck? Yo, people be so dumb. Like you actually sat there and took the time to say goodbye when you could have just scrolled up. Like, come on, man. But it's just like that's what people don't understand, right? It's just like everybody doesn't agree with this. MAGA will be like, oh, the majority of the country. The majority of the country isn't 77 million. That's not even a fucking quarter of it. Oh no, it is. It would be a quarter of the country, I would say. Close to a quarter. That's it. No, it's not a quarter. 77 ain't even a quarter of the fucking country. And they're like, oh my God, the majority of the country did this. No, the majority of the country don't believe in this shit. Most of those 77 million people that voted for Trump, I can tell you that if they were to take another vote right now, you're not getting 77 million. You can see it on all the things, but the thing is Republicans don't report on that. It's not even 50% of the country. There's 300 million plus people in this country, and only 77 of y'all thought it was that good. But like I said, if you come from a Republican state that has poor education, you wouldn't fucking know that. You wouldn't know what it is to fucking divide 330 million by 77. You wouldn't fucking know to do that. That's abstract fucking numbers right there. I gotta carry what? Like, bro, these people will lose their minds trying to figure that shit out. But most of the country, but then the funny thing is like the news, right? You pay attention to the news, but you don't see them reporting. The funny thing is about the Medicare thing is that the highest population of people that use it is MAGA. The highest population that uses these services that were made is MAGA. Because it comes from those low end states. Most of those low end states that get subsidized and get paid for by the rest of the country are the ones that are on benefits. The crazy thing is that it's also federally funded. So that money is coming from other states to maintain your poverty. But MAGA thought that it was acceptable or actually believed the fact that they thought it was immigrants taking all their stuff. Yet it's been the same Republican leadership that they've had in place for the past 2 decades robbing them blind. They've been robbed blind by their Republican representation for decades. Those Republican states are still in the thought process or in the belief that fucking what you call it, trickle down economics works. That, you know, if you give more to the rich, they're gonna give it back to the poor. Where they taught that at? Because that's what I wonder. Because the thing is you can tell that when you go to different states, they have different education and different curriculum. But MAGA didn't know that. MAGA actually thought that the curriculum was made at the federal level. But it's your state that controls that. Imagine being MAGA and being from Oklahoma, being ranked 50th in education, and then allowing your education superintendent to talk about that he wants to make a assessment for any Democratic teachers that want to teach in Oklahoma. He wants to make a woke assessment. I'm like, last I checked, dude, you were 50th out of 51 because they counted the District of Columbia too. They counted DC and they came out 50th. New Mexico was 51st. And you mean to tell me you want to test teachers because they woke? Bro, maybe some woke teachers is what you need. Because clearly whatever you've been teaching ain't fucking working. Clearly your thought process and your education and your curriculum has made your people dumber, which is what Republicans want. Or I would say Republicans, because it's the Republicans that actually know what they're doing the stuff. And then you got MAGA that just blindly follows. So it's literally you have MAGA doing this, just following. Because Donald Trump is doing, like, the crazy thing is like, MAGA doesn't even realize. Did y'all realize why Donald Trump wants the interest rate to go down? Does anybody know? Has anybody paid attention to that? Haven't y'all haven't noticed why or asked why it is that he's been on Jerome Powell's ass for so long? No? No, nobody's asked. Nobody's wondered. Damn, it's like, damn. If you notice with Donald Trump, when Donald Trump finds something he wants or wants to do, he starts attacking it. Or if he feels threatened by somebody, he starts attacking and lashing out at them. And then he gets mad when they actually talk shit back. Case in point, Gavin Newsom. Look at what Gavin Newsom doing. Gavin Newsom doing a great fucking job of roasting his ass. But he's not going to understand that. He's not going to do that. They just leave it at that and they just continue with it. And then you look at it like, damn, bro. Oh, just like, y'all not going to be successful. Y'all really not. Y'all want to take over the country. Y'all want to make it that people get used to seeing fucking police on the street. But you notice that people don't give a fuck if police is out on the street. You saw what's happening in LA and it's still happening in LA. Most people don't know what's happening in Oregon. They doing the same music festivals the same way too. But it gets no coverage. So this makes MAGA think, oh my God. Donald Trump is so powerful. He's so strong. He's cleaning up the streets. But then you get the videos of the National Guard in vests just cleaning the floor. It's like, don't y'all have a sanitation system in fucking Washington, D.C. that could do that? You had to deploy a National Guard. Matter of fact, imagine being one of these dumbass red like I said before. I can't remember how many lives ago I said it. You notice how quickly these Republican states sent the guard to a non-criminal area or state? But you notice how they didn't send it to another Republican state when they had a hurricane? Or they had that mass flooding? Or they had any of that? So like I said, MAGA doesn't even support themselves. Because you couldn't even tell your own fucking people, which voted the same way, like, yo, I'll send my National Guard to help you guys out. The National Guard has never been called like this. These states have been broke and are still broke, so that's why I'm guessing they're slobbing on the knob by sending it, because Donald Trump probably said, hey, we're going to give you federal funding if you send us if you send your National Guard. But you gotta remember, veterans, if we were active duty, we're not really too concerned with National Guard. And veterans know why I say that. It's not a threat. You've seen how veterans have been showing up everywhere. They don't got an answer for it. In Europe, there was no veterans. All of Europe didn't have a military. All of Europe didn't have the highest number of weapons of a country. We got the most weapons of out of any country, probably like 2 times over. And that's spread across the country. You can't reach the whole entire United States. You can't control, like, put it like this. The total military force that we have, I think if you put all the DOD and everything, well, no, if you just come up with the active branches, it's like about what? A million? Think it's like a million military service members we have. Active, like actively, a million. 329 million people. Like, are you serious? This isn't the same time frame. This isn't the same kind of people. You got this generation don't give a fuck. This generation don't believe in consequences. This generation wild as fuck. And if you tell this generation that you're not gonna allow them to be successful in the future, you're gonna make it harder for them to own a home. You're gonna make it harder for them to take care of their parents. It was just like that's gonna come back tenfold. MAGA don't realize how much of a hole they digging themselves in. Because the thing is what's going to happen? Next year in the midterms, you already got Democrats already winning seats. I believe in LA, in Georgia. Because Donald Trump just nominated one of the representatives that was from Georgia. They just did a fucking they're voting now. I don't know if it was yesterday or today or still ongoing. It's 6 different Republicans running against 1 Democrat for the same fucking seat. Mind you, these are Republican counties that they're running in, and there's 6 Republicans, 1 Democrat. And that 1 Democrat has about 52% of the fucking vote. So even all those different 6 fucking Republicans have not been able to beat out that Georgia representative that's beating them in a red district. That's how pissed off the actual smart people that are Republicans are. It's just like, yo, this dude is just fucking us over. But those are the smart ones. Those are the smart ones that are now like, yo, that's crazy. Yeah, no, I know, Aaron. That's what it is. Y'all the smart ones, and y'all and most of them are realizing like that. Yo, we fucked up. We thought this was gonna be good, but we didn't think it was gonna be like this. So not a lot of them are having that buyer's remorse. And what you think is gonna happen? Just because most of those people feel bad, they're just gonna vote Democrat. They could have the best fucking Republican candidate because of how badly they being screwed over, how badly their representation is lying to them. Because remember, you can go to all these town halls and listen in on all these town halls, right? And it's all these representatives, senators, and saying, oh, it's a good thing that we're cutting Medicaid. Or they're saying, oh, we're only cutting Medicaid and Medicare for the illegal immigrants. Mind you, illegal immigrants can't fucking even receive Medicaid or Medicare. Because if that was the case, right, wouldn't you put that in the bill? You would put, hey, only illegal immigrants are going to lose Medicaid and Medicare. Wouldn't that be on the bill? Wouldn't it say that in the bill, like specifically? These are the people losing these benefits. It wouldn't be a general just, hey, we're cutting this Medicare, Medicaid. Because, they put everything in there. Because remember one of the bills they passed, it was just like tanning beds were getting a fucking discount or some shit. or a write-off or some shit, or the no tax on tips. And then most people didn't pay attention to the no tax on tips because they didn't pay attention to the fact that it's only that half that they're going to be able to claim as no tax on for overtime. Not the time and the half, just the half. They made sure to put that specifically in the bill. But they sure didn't say it was just illegal aliens documented or whatever the fuck they want to think they call people. That's not in the bill. So literally everybody is losing it. Everybody is getting stripped of these benefits. And the thing is like that's the problem with MAGA, because MAGA can't think for themselves. MAGA can't think at all. So literally MAGA can't even see or try to consume the information to think about it in the future concept. If you don't got Medicare, Medicaid, and you never had insurance, you think you're gonna have more money? Bro, all the money that you still getting taxed on, because remember, they're still taxing you. You're just getting a credit on the back end. So you ain't even, you gonna work harder thinking that you gonna make more money, and the same taxes is gonna come out your fucking check. You're not gonna see that to the next year. And the only way you're gonna see it is if you properly documented all the taxes and the overtime you got. If that shit ain't qualified and you ain't got the documentation, you ain't got the paperwork, you don't qualify for it. And you mean to tell me MAGA that don't read a fucking thing is gonna actually be aware of the fact that they have to make sure to have all the documentation showing that they had all that overtime? These people don't read. They don't pay attention to anything. They haven't read anything that anybody's produced to them because they're like, fake news. Well, it's going to be fake news to them when they thought they was going to get that fucking $20,000 in fucking credit and then they owe money. Or matter of fact, you're going to be a dumbass and fucking think that the no tax on cash tips was a good idea. Because if you were stupid, you were already putting your tips that were cash, meaning your income is higher, meaning your tax bracket is higher, meaning more taxes will be removed from you. But they don't seem to understand that. My thing is why don't we have MAGA cleaning the streets? Why do we have to waste the National Guard to pick up trash? MAGA could just pick up themselves while they at it. That's simple. You can have them. They can literally have themselves walking through this shit and picking up the trash and then just throw themselves in the dumpster right after. That's it. Problem solved. You wanted to clean up. You need to drain the swamp. There you go. It's swampy in there. They got a lot of swampland in their places too. But another thing that this administration, Stephen Miller, Pam Bondi, fucking everybody in the cabinet didn't think was going to happen was that they were going to have so many federal judges blocking their shit. They didn't think that was going to happen. They didn't think they were going to have to go and deal with all these lawsuits. They just thought that people were going to roll over. And that's the thing when you have that mentality, because these people think it's not even the Constitution. It's the fact that these people have been in positions of power their whole life, but it's against people that are yes people. They think they're powerful when it's people that are just scared of them because they're scared of them. That's it. You think Stephen Miller goes outside and talks like that by himself? When's the last time you seen Stephen Miller not surrounded by any kind of security talking all that stupid shit he does? That man's scared as fuck. You could just tell how scared that man is. He's always talking shit, but then it's just like, all these people that are in there. And then it's just like, why are you surrounded by so many people though, bro? How come you? How come these people never actually walk into the hood? Because the thing is like to be like that. DC is scary and dangerous, and they never been to St. Louis. They never been to Memphis. They never been into certain parts of New York City. Certain parts in shit. They never even been to Compton. But you know, brown people, I guess. I'm a threat because I walk. I guess I'm a threat because I walk, breathe. I'm no. I'm more of a threat also because I'm intelligent and I'm brown. So that makes me double fucking dangerous. Cause it's like, damn, he's educated, knows what he's talking about, and isn't scared to fucking call us out. We can't have people like that. That's why they trying to do whatever they can. That's why they trying to bullshit with the whole burning of the flag thing. It's already in the Constitution. But the thing is they're not using it to try to use it for that reason. What they're trying to use it for is to circumvent that. They're not trying to get rid of the First Amendment. They're trying to circumvent it. They're trying to make it seem like, hey, we're not taking away your American free speech, but what we are doing is that we are going to try to put you in jail for other reasons if you burn the flag. Because what most people doing? Burning the flag right now. So they want to try to intimidate people because they don't have any other recourse. MAGA never has any other recourse but to try to gaslight, try to call people names, and then run from the situation. Or lie. Or act like they don't know what the fuck is going on, but clearly they understand what's going on. So it's like you see that and it's just like, come on, MAGA. What are we going to do with y'all? Y'all still part of the country. Y'all... You know what I find funny about that is that MAGA was always the first one that was just like, yo, if you don't like it, you should leave the country. But motherfuckers stayed for 4 years of Biden. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. How you was so quick to tell everybody to leave the country when Trump won, but when Biden won, you got quiet. Because remember, you didn't see during the 4 years of Biden, how many fucking MAGA or Trump flags or anything did you see? How you gonna tell me that y'all not a cult or y'all not some damn knob slobbers? Because you notice there was no other Republicans running MAGA, right? Why is it that no other Republicans were running MAGA, but every single Republican was mad at MAGA? Every single Republican was talking shit about Donald Trump, talking about he's bad for the country, he's gonna do this, he's fucking terrible, and then they all became knob slobbers, and they're like, "Oh my God, we'll do anything the president says." How you do that? Like, how does that happen? How does being that well? I guess if you fake already, it's easy to tell that you fake, so it's not like nothing new. But it's just like to be that fake and understand that the person's being fake, and then you still believe them. Like y'all still believe JD Vance, and JD Vance said fucking JD Bowman, my bad, said Donald Trump was dumb, stupid, and shouldn't be in place. That was Donald Trump's vice president. You had Ted Cruz, you had half of the people that's in his cabinet. It's just like you had all these people, and it's just like, bro, you got to be kidding me, right? But what do you what like? What I'm trying to what I'm trying to understand is just like, do these people really think it's gonna be the handmaiden style? Like, there's too many people in this country for them to do anything, and I don't think there's 330. Or maybe there is. The last census was 5 years ago. Oh, Rack said this isn't the VA stuff I'm used to. Hey, bro, if you got VA questions, hey, that's the thing. If any veteran comes in here and asks VA questions, they do that. I do my VA stuff on Sundays. That's when I do my workshops. I'll do stuff like that, but then I'll do that on my other channel. I have the veteran channel, which is separate. This is the channel where it's just like on Sundays, I talk to people about veteran stuff because this channel, this page has more following. And I've reached more veterans through this page than my other page, which doesn't have any following. I don't think on my other page I don't even have 100 followers, I think, on my veteran Vet Aware Project TikTok, but I have close to 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. So it's different, so I'm just trying to do it. But the thing is most of the time, the VA stuff is there, right? But the VA's in shit right now. The VA is just like, yeah, reached you on this one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So here, this one gets pushed out to more people because I have a bigger following on it. So I do those on Sundays. But otherwise, it's just talking about politics because most people don't want to do it. Most people are too scared to do it. Most of the time, I get banned for saying the truth. But you still got to do it because you got to push that information out. You got to push the truth out to people. You got to educate people. The same way you got to educate veterans on veteran stuff and disabilities, entitlements, and all that stuff. You got to spread knowledge when it comes to anything else that you may be able to help people with. Because most people don't know politics. Most people don't know civics. Most people don't know the inner workings of government. That's what I studied. That's what I got my master's degree in. Because I wanted to learn how these people do all this shit. And then once you start studying and learning, it's just like, man, everything goes into writing. Everything is a policy. Everything is a bill. Everything is a law. Everything is a statute, a regulation, an addendum to this. And like, you start noticing that it's just like Donald Trump and this administration ain't breaking the law. They're doing the same thing he did to become a billionaire, circumventing the system. Because you notice they're doing this because they know they can, but the thing is that has a limitation, and that's what slows them down. Because look at the National Guard. The National Guard, you got Title 10, which is what National Guard does on active duty, but then you have Title 32 also that is federally controlled. Most people don't know that difference. And if you didn't serve in the military, you definitely don't know how everybody's laughing at these people fucking cleaning rocks and picking up shit. So no, the thing is rack with the no tax on overtime. Everybody thinks that they're getting like they're not getting taxed. Everybody is getting taxed every check they get. But the time and a half, it's only the half that is actually counting towards it. So it might be that limit, but it's only that half. So they're not going no tax on overtime for the time and a half. They're going no tax on that half of the time and a half. So you're thinking you're making time and a half and getting a tax cut on that. No, you only getting a tax cut on that half, and it's only that little bit. And you have to have all the documentation of proof you did that to then be able to claim it on your next year's taxes. So literally they told people that you weren't going to get taxed on tip, but you're getting taxed anyway. Or on overtime, I mean, you're getting taxed anyway. And then on the back end, you have to make sure you have all your documentation to show the overtime and correctly show how you did the overtime. If you don't qualify for it. If most of these people don't read anything that comes out in any paperwork or any documentation, what makes you think they're going to read how to put their taxes together? These people didn't read or don't believe the fact that Medicare and Medicaid is going out. But the thing is now people like me and other people talk about it and they get educated. And next thing you know, what are they doing? They call in their congressman, they call in their thing. Shit, you know how many videos I've seen of people trying to call the senator here in Kansas? The dude lives in Florida. How you a senator in Kansas, but you live and reside in Florida? And all these constituents is trying to call them, ask them like, yo, why are we losing our Medicaid? Why did you vote to take away our Medicaid? Why did you vote to take away our benefits? Why are we taking this? Why are we losing that? Why are we losing federal funding? Why is it that the schools that we have that are federal or grant schools or land grant schools, they don't want to give them money for that? It was just like, and now these people are realizing like, fuck, we getting screwed. I'm not going to have enough money to pay for I got to pay for my prescriptions? I got a copay now to go to the doctor? I ain't do all that. Like, I grew up with the struggle. I understand that. Like I said that shit yesterday. If I don't got a fucking arm sticking out of my fucking skin, like my bone is out the fucking skin, or I'm profuse, like blood is gushing, I'm not going to the doctor. Most poor people don't go to the doctor anyway. The only time they go to the doctor is when they know it's a serious issue. Because people can't afford to go to the doctor. But when they did, that's where Medicaid and Medicare would cover them. Because if you didn't have the bills, the federal government was paying that hospital to cover it. And if it wasn't, like in the case, because the one thing that a lot of people don't understand is like Republicans will be like, oh, but illegal immigrants were using all this and all that stuff. But that's the thing, right? People ain't gonna find out till they find out. All these people, they were told, I've been doing this, and whoever's been following me for so long has known that I've been telling people this since fucking September of last year. When I was telling people about this, I was telling them these exact scenarios. I was telling people, look, Jen been here for a while too, and I've been telling people this since the get. I've been saying and repeating the same shit, but people don't want to listen to me. I've been saying all this shit that's gonna happen because people don't understand. It was just like, even like most people don't listen and don't pay attention to the politics of it, or they don't pay attention to C-SPAN. They don't actually listen to the actual fucking voting procedures on C-SPAN. When it's just like, oh, this bill, and you see the yays and the nays on the screen, you see them going up, going down, and it's just like, oh, okay, this is how they vote. Got it. Okay, let's start paying attention to what they're voting on. Okay. It was like, damn, this sounds good for fucking, what was it? When Republicans blocked women from having maternity leave in Congress? Y'all forgot that one? What was it? That was Republicans that said no. For women to have maternity leave while on thing and be able to vote remotely, Republicans said no. The craziest thing is just like, you know what I start thinking at times? That MAGA men don't have women. MAGA men don't have women. Because have you ever pissed a woman off? Have you, like, legit pissed a woman off? Have you ever felt safe afterwards? I'm just asking. Any of the men in here, have you ever genuinely pissed a woman off and you're like, fuck, I'm scared for my life? Yo, I was just like, hell, what is it? What's the saying? Hell has no fury like a woman's wrath? Something like that, right? Right? I'm just saying. It doesn't the saying go something like that? That's how the saying goes. So you mean to tell me that MAGA men, because the thing is, you know, they're the macho of macho, have to change the law to have women listen to them? You know how crazy that is? MAGA men, like a woman scorned. Thank you, Blue Boat. Like, thank you. Appreciate that. And y'all trying to take away their body rights by telling them when and when not or if they can or not have an abortion. You're trying to restrict them from getting any kind of health services to assist with that. You don't want to provide people with contraceptives, and then you don't want to give people health care. You want to make it more expensive for people to have health care. And then you don't really give a fuck about the kids after they're born. Yet you don't count them at conception because they can't be in the taxes. You don't want to pay them, you don't want to pay for their school lunches. You don't want to have them go to the same school as your kid because you pay taxes like everybody else don't. Like everybody else in your fucking community doesn't pay taxes, which is the most absurd shit to me, because most of MAGA, I think, must live on a fucking bubble somewhere. Because the fact that they always think that it's just like, oh, I don't want my tax dollars to pay for another kid's lunch. Like, yo, dumbass is where you at right now because somebody else was paying. If your family was poor and broke and you weren't paying no taxes, your ass wouldn't have been in school. Somebody else was funding it for you to be able to attend school. But you want to take away the Department of Education. You want to, like, can somebody please fucking tell me what it is that MAGA wants? Mm-hmm. You could tell MAGA didn't grow up watching George Carlin. You could tell. You can tell. MAGA don't even know who George Carlin is. Because if they did, they would have listened to him and they'd be like, you know what, this man sounds crazy. But then there would have been the signs. And then they would have been like, oh shit. Damn, George Carlin did say this. I thought he was fucking around. Nah, he was telling you the whole thing. And it's just crazy to me because it's trying to get the concept of it's like, yo, what do you actually want? Because yeah, it is kind of like they want what they told they want. But even the thing is that the people that are telling them what they want ain't even giving them what they want, and they're being told they want. And they still don't get mad because they don't understand they're not getting it. Like, that shit is confusing to me. Like, you got told you were going to make $5,000 because Doge was going to clean up all the fraud, waste, and abuse. You haven't heard $5,000 again. MAGA quiet. MAGA try to be like, oh, but Biden gave me a stimulus. I know your grifting ass got a fucking stimulus check. And you were trying to grift some more with a fucking $5,000 Doge check. I got you a dollar. We haven't, no, because remember, Aaron, the tariffs checks, because remember that the stuttering dumbass that they have running the fucking thing, that fucking dumbass that starts sweating profusely when you ask him any questions, like that dude was not meant to be in that position, because if you can't answer a simple fucking question without fucking having a downpour of sweat, bro, there's seriously something wrong. Like, you lying that bad that you are sweating so profusely? But remember, he said that the tariff revenue was gonna go to pay down the debt. Remember, it wasn't a check. It's a check to pay down the debt we have. It's like Americans keep getting screwed by the dumbest people in the fucking country. It's not even by the smart people, because the smart people know this was going to happen. The smart people prepared for this to happen. But it's the dumbest people in the country that have caused this to happen. Because all these dumbasses vote for it. All these dumbasses still support it. All these dumbasses is just like, bro, this man straight conned y'all. And I said that from the get. I'm from New York City. I knew about Donald Trump way before most people even heard his name. Most people didn't hear about him till he ran for president. The man was already in his 70s. How you gonna look at a dude that's in his 70s and you're not gonna do any research as to what he's done before? Everybody complaining about, damn, Bernie Sanders too old. Bernie this. Bernie Sanders was actually marching with Martin Luther King and got arrested. Bernie Sanders is about that life. When has Donald Trump been of the life to actually help anybody but himself? But most people didn't know that. It was just like, y'all don't find it weird that Donald Trump was in charge of the fucking Miss Beauty pageant, Miss America, Miss USA? And that he also had a talent agency? The Apprentice came after. That's where a lot of people knew or met him first. Maybe it was The Apprentice because he kept on firing people. But most people didn't know he owned the Miss USA, Miss America, and he had a talent agency. And just so happened to work with a dude that just happened to do illegal shit. But didn't know him. Didn't hang out with him. It's like all this stuff is just like bringing all this stuff up. The thing is just like moving forward, it has to be put into context that all this happened. And that's the part that's bothering me. Oh, it has WWW stand. Yeah. The World Wrestling. Oh, no. That's when it was still WWF. Oh, no. World Wrestling. What was it before? Because it was it was WWW, but that was an actual like animal conservation fucking name, and they sued them for it, and then they had to change it. Or was it WWF? One of the two. They had the name, and then they had to switch it because it was like a animal conservation or something. It was like with a panda on it. I know it had like a panda sign, but they had the name, and then they had to change it. I think they had it as WWF, and then they changed it to WWE. Yeah, there we go. It was WWF, which was the same as that animal conservation thing, and then they changed it to WWE. Brandon, that's the thing. The reason why people ain't putting this into context is like first of all, some of these people don't even care that EV, like they did that poll, right? They did a poll and it said like, I think it was like 47% of Republicans would still vote for Donald Trump even if he was on the list. So what does that tell you? That whoever they polled, almost half of them said that, yo, we don't care that he's on the list. So that's already a telling sign and a bad sign, because the thing is you got to condemn pedophiles. But you also have to hold them accountable. Because right now, the biggest thing is accountability. That's been the problem throughout the United States. We've lost accountability on all fronts. We've lost accountability with our communities. We've lost accountability with our fucking budgets. We've lost accountability with fucking our representation in the state Senate and state House of representatives. We lost accountability at the federal level, state senators and House representatives, and we lost accountability at the presidency. Well, the president, that one is kind of different when it comes to accountability, because you just can't run up in there and just change them. But when it comes to all these politicians that we've had in place, we haven't been holding them accountable. Most of these states don't. Like, my man Chuck Schumer is still a senator. Nancy Pelosi is still a senator. Mitch McConnell is still a senator. Bernie Sanders is still a senator. Some of these people have been in there longer than I've been fucking alive, or damn near. And it's just like, we haven't held none of these people accountable. These people have given themselves more raises than the American people have gotten over the same time period. And they work half the fucking time. There's no accountability. There's no accountability. Most of these states are trying to take away and strip the capabilities that their state even has. I think it was, what state was it? I just seen a representative or something that they, in Minnesota, the Republican fucking Congress in the state voted to cut $5 billion from their budget just to cut it. And it was the fucking Democratic representative like, hey, everyone, I just wanted you to see I just voted no. And then she just put it and showed every name that voted yes and then every name that voted no. So she just put it on the thing like, that's the thing. The thing is it's that accountability. There should be term limits. Because look, senators stay there for 6 years. I understand the first two, you just trying to understand the shit. But then you still got another 4 years and you haven't accomplished nothing. You shouldn't be fucking doing anything. What we need to fucking do, what I would love to do with fucking Congress, make me president. Y'all can get rid of me. We gonna have a checklist. President Cruz said he's gonna give you this. He ain't do that? Oh, we can't check that off. Oh, President Cruz also said he was going to give you. Oh, he did do that. Check. President Cruz said he's going to. Check. Check. Damn, 3 out of 4 sounds good. You know what? We'll keep you. Damn, you only did 1 out of 4? Nah, bro, it's time to go. You at least have to have at least 5 things. If you running for that's what I would say. If it's representation, they should at least have 5 fucking things that they say they are gonna do, and they better do it by the end of their fucking term. If they don't, if constituents are calling out and saying, hey, we don't want this to happen, and they do against it, you gotta get rid of these people. That's what's happening in a lot of these red states. A lot of these red states, that's why these Republicans is trying to gerrymander the shit out of places. Yeah, look, Representative Kay Granger lives in a retirement home in Florida and still gets to vote. Why are you in a retirement home? That means you ain't there. You retired. You shouldn't be in Congress. Put it like this. What's the retirement age? The retirement age in the United States is what, 63 now? 63? Is it 63, 64? I can't remember. They keep on changing the shit. I know Republicans always want to keep on making the fucking retirement age higher. So it's 67, right? Why are you over 67 and in fucking Congress? But Rack, that's one of the things right there. The housing market is caused by what? The corporations getting these fucking tax cuts, which gives them more money to buy up more houses. Because some of these corporations, all they're doing, like BlackRock, Airbnb, they're buying up houses and neighborhoods just to rent them out. What are they doing? They got all the money. They purchased this house, right? So let's say the average house is $250,000 around your area, right? $250,000. One of these corporations comes in, pays $250,000 for it, and then puts another $50,000 on top just to renovate it and make it look nice, put all the furnishings and all that stuff. What happens? The rest of the neighborhood was $250,000. But now you have this stellar $300,000 house. What does that do? That brings the value up of every other house around there, even if you ain't do shit to the fucking house. Who ends up paying for that? Whoever tries to buy one of those now $275,000 houses, which is only worth $250,000 because this fucking house bought by these corporations got built up and it looks extra nice. Now everybody else can be like, yo, I could raise a little, my shit is worth, I'll sell it for more. And people don't understand that. People don't understand that little nuance that it's not the government controlling housing. It's corporations doing it. It's corporations buying up places. It's corporations buying up this. It was just like, remember how corporations were supposed to give us money and make shit cheaper? Nah, they just taking that money to make more money. It's difficult. Right now it's difficult. Insurance rates is fucking crazy. If you buy a house now and you got good credit, you might get a fucking what, 7%? That's with good credit. That's crazy. That was just like, but that's the thing, they buy. But the thing is what's happening? Because the thing is Republicans and Donald Trump and all these billionaires know that how do we make more money? By exploiting the people trying to get it. That's an exploitation move. No tax on overtime. That's the exploitation move. That's not to fucking actually make people more money. That's to exploit you to think that you gonna make more money with the overtime. Cause then what does that mean? That means I got people working more hours than they need to, but then I'm still gonna get a tax reduction because it's a payroll tax. I'm gonna pay less in corporate tax anyway, and then I'm gonna pay less on my profit because I'm just gonna invest it right back into my own stocks, which is gonna elevate the valuation of my company and make me even more money. That's how they do it. But the problem is that people think that that's the thing. What you crying for, bro? You always crying. This dude always crying. Always wanting some lovins. Yeah, there you go, purr. Now shut up. But that's the thing. Most people don't understand that. Most people just go through the motions and don't understand that that's what these people is doing. It's gonna take, but the thing is the problem that people don't understand is that most crime in most cities that are crime ridden, it's because of the poverty level. It's because people can't afford to actually get the stuff they need. So since they can't afford it, they gotta steal it. So what do you think this country's gonna get into when most of the country can't afford to go to the doctor? Or when they go to the doctor and they get a damn hospital bill that's basically gonna be a damn car note to pay off monthly, even if you got it as a plan. And that's what I'm saying, Rack. That's what people. The thing is people need to. I had that conversation yesterday with people. It's just like MAGA is some of the hardest fucking working people we have in this country. MAGA be some of the hardest working fucking people in this country. But the thing is they mad when an educated person tries to educate them on how they can do better. Like, bro, all I'm trying to do is help you. I know you struggling. I know. I've been in the struggle. I got out of the struggle. I got my own home. I got 2 cars. I got a beautiful family. My family's taken care of. But I had to struggle to get here. But I had to educate myself to get to this level. I had to learn what these people did to be successful. But MAGA will get mad at you and just be like, oh, it's fake news. Nah, you broke. Oh, nah, you don't have this. It's just like, no. You have to be able to understand and open-minded to learn. But if you MAGA and you don't want to listen and you don't want to learn and you just want to be thick-headed and you just think whatever you're told from somebody that's a fraud and was convicted of fraud even then is right. You can't help that. You can't help the country with that. That's what I'm saying. It's difficult because all these people going to work they asses off. This next year, they going to think, damn, I'm going to make shitload of money on fucking overtime. Bro, you've been working that overtime already and you were still broke. If you were working all that overtime and still broke, you're going to be just as broke the next year because they're not giving you any extra money. They're still taxing that. Your check is not going to be bigger. You are not going to have a fatter check with this change. And that's why it's gonna be crazy, because a lot of people don't know that. And a lot of people, I'm telling you, they're gonna be fucking yes to overtime, yes to overtime. And then with all that time, you don't have any time to take care of yourself. You don't have any time to actually spend with your family. You don't have any time to actually work on bettering yourself, because you slaving yourself for fucking overtime pay that you thought you was gonna get non-taxed. And then you're gonna see that first check and you're gonna be like, what the It was like you can be humble, you can have money and be humble, and you can have money and be an asshole. Or you can be a person that just wants to help everybody no matter what they are. And you can be a person that just wants to be bad towards everybody no matter who they are. It's just people deciding who to follow. Because if you're following a person that has clearly shown that they only give a fuck about themselves, that they only worry about improving themselves and don't care who they gotta hurt to do it, that's not a person you follow. That's not a person you fucking revere. That's not a person you have a cult following towards. It was like the man hasn't done it. Like, that's why I find it so weird to fucking understand. Like, people have such a blind fucking following for a person that has not done a single fucking thing for them. These people believe in them more than they do their fucking parents. Most of these people listen to fucking Donald Trump more than they do their parents. And their parents birthed them, kept them alive, kept them dressed, got them to school, got them clothing, got them food. What has Donald Trump ever done for any MAGA person personally? Shit, he's even gone to fucking his campaign trail and he's fucking owes money along the campaign trail because he didn't even pay those people. And y'all think y'all was gonna get any money that's promised to y'all? Like, you've seen the dude legitly just say he likes uneducated people and y'all clapped. Y'all seen the multiple campaign stops that he's had that he hasn't paid and he still owes. You've seen all the promises that he's given you and told you, yes, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And what has landed? My man said, we're gonna secure the border and we got National Guard in DC. We're gonna end all these wars. We're gonna end all these wars. And Israel just bombed a damn hospital. Ukraine is still going at it with Russia, because remember, it's going to be a peace talks or resolutions. And where have we gotten with that? He was going to have this shit done in 24 hours. By his first day, he was going to have the wars done, right? 8 months later, MAGA don't even question it. So it's weird. It's just like, why have such blind faith besides being racist? Because that's the one point that basically sticks out and stands out for me. Because besides that, what other reason do they have? What other reason do they have besides hatred? Because he hasn't done anything for it. Nobody, MAGA can never tell you, anybody can never tell you that what he said he's done for them. Shallow Hendrix. I've seen that name before. I don't know who that is. But that's the thing. Things like that is what people don't understand. That's why it's like you have to move past these people, because it's like you could try to educate them, you try to teach them, try to tell them how the way things actually operate and work so that they can get the inside understanding of it, but then they don't want to understand and they don't want to listen. It's plain and simple. The housing market, the shit is difficult right now, but yes, you can still buy a home. The thing is you might not just get the home you actually wanted. That may be a sacrifice that you have to make to put your foot in the door to have that home. But remember, with the way all these housing and the valuation of these houses is going up, everything keeps going up. Is it going to crash at one point? Yes. But at the same time, when you see it's about to crash, you can start selling your shit and make the profit off of it, of the growth it had. Just use the equity, build a trust, open a savings account, invest, do something that's going to make your money make money. But most people don't do that. MAGA don't do that. MAGA works hard, spends their money, and then don't end up with anything to show for it. That's not how you're supposed to live life. You're not supposed to be working the whole fucking time. You're not supposed to be waking up and working every single day, getting back, go to sleep, didn't do shit, couldn't get anything done in the house, went back and do it again. That's not how you're supposed to live life. That's how these people do it, and that's why they do it. They like the fact that they have time. You're not giving them time. You just giving them more time because you're giving them more money. Oh, she raised off of what? What'd she do that she made $1 million on GoFundMe? People just that's crazy too. It's just like that's the other thing with that GoFundMe shit. It's crazy. Hold on, let me look this up. I don't know who that is. It's just she said a racial slur. Oh, that one, the one that did the racial slur towards the kid. That oh, but that's what I'm saying. The thing is what needs to happen is that people need to fucking find that shit and post those names. That's all we need to do. Post those names. Because remember the problem. This is me going back to the whole accountability thing. This is where the accountability thing is where we're lacking. Because the thing is during Trump's first administration, you had a lot of these people get ballsy. You had a lot of these racists get ballsy and want to start talking that shit and saying their slurs and calling people this and calling people that. And what were people doing though? The difference is we were holding people accountable in a different way. Because the thing is during his first administration, if this person would have came out and said something like that, you had people on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They would find where she worked at. Good evening, Ms. It was just like where they worked at, who they lived with, what their job was, what they were selling or whatever, and then they didn't have it no more. We need to get back to that. We need to get back to those people losing their jobs. We need to get back to those people. Nah, not even Obama. That I don't like. If it's me, like if somebody's criticizing or mocking something or a policy or some shit, that's one thing. But if you being racist, we need to make sure you ain't racist again. There's no space for that shit here in this country. There never has been and there shouldn't ever be. Or just like we need to start holding those people accountable. You say something racist or you do something, hey, we gonna find your ass. We gonna find your employer. Your employer's gonna get a nice fucking email of the shit you just sent me. And this is how easy it is, because you gotta remember, if that employer decides not to fire him or doesn't do anything else, it's just like, oh, okay, let's go to whoever owns this franchise or this company or something. We're gonna go higher up. Hey, do you know that so-and-so called me a racial this and said all this? Here's the transcript. Did you also know that I went to the employer, their boss, and I presented them yada 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 yada, and they decided not to fire him or do any fucking corrective action or anything. This person's still working in a job. So I don't feel safe. And if you don't say anything about it, I'm going to have to go even bigger. It's how easy we got to do it. That's what we got to do. Look how much money Target lost. Look at how much money Elon lost. Us collectively can do more damage to these people than they can do to us. Because people don't view it that way. People don't see it that way. No, it's just like you gotta find these people and just like we gotta call them out. That's why it's just like when dumb people call in, call them out on their dumb shit. If somebody says something racist, make sure to find them. post that shit. All you gotta do, literally, you can push it on Facebook, you push it on Twitter, on Instagram, and yo, these people are better fucking detectives than the fucking FBI. Cause these motherfuckers will tell you their fucking whole schedule too after they found all the information. How they do that shit, I don't fucking know. But these motherfuckers will tell you, yeah, he works here, married to this person, which is also racist. They kid goes to. I don't want them looking up families and stuff like that. But hey, find out where this person works and get them fired. That's it. That's it. You don't gotta do nothing else. Cause the thing is they thought they can run their mouth to a certain point, but now they ain't gonna have the money to run their mouth. Because now they're going to have to be quiet. Because now everybody's going to know, oh, you were the one that got fired for saying that shit. Word. Your name do look familiar. Yeah, we can't hire you here. It's kind of hard to go back after you just used one of those racial slurs and kept on saying it. It's kind of hard not to find you. Especially after they get your name, because they know what his lady was. They did that. They did all that, and then they're just like, oh, we're going to support her because people are attacking her, and then it was fake. But that's the thing, y'all. It's just the accountability factor right now in the United States is terrible. People are not being held accountable. The president isn't being held accountable because the people that we have that are supposedly representing us in Congress ain't holding them accountable. These people are rolling over. These people are slobbing the knob the whole time. And the thing that I'm trying to figure out is what does Donald Trump have on all these people? Because you never seen Biden have the ability to scare the shit out of the Democrats like that. Trump didn't even do that the first time that he was able to scare all these Republicans into line. Shit, I don't think there's been any other president that has had Congress literally at his fingertips because they scared of him. So the only thing is either all these people are on the Epstein list and that's why they kissing ass, or they done something, or they put money, or there's money. There's something that ain't adding up. Something's not adding up to have all these Republicans that even at first, remember in that first administration said he was terrible. Then all of a sudden they kissing his ass this second time around. That the math ain't mathing for me. I don't know what it is, and I'm trying to figure out what is it that Donald Trump has over these Republicans. Because I understand them having money and all that stuff, but at this point, even if you have money, it won't matter because most of the people are going for and voting for somebody that they actually trust in. Look at Zoran in New York City. He's a New Yorker. He's still in a rent-stabilized home. This man is still in the hood. Talk about I want to be mayor. Not no multi-millionaire, not no multi-billionaire that never had to struggle, never had to live in a small apartment. Like, didn't Donald Trump inherit like $400 million from his dad? The fuck you gonna tell me that man know what struggle is? When the fuck was Donald Trump ever gonna work 2 jobs? When the fuck was Donald Trump worrying about, damn, I'm gonna have to catch another fucking shift just to be able to pay the bills this week? When the fuck has Donald Trump ever been that close to fucking needing something and not being able to get it? People need to start voting with character. You need to start finding people that have the character and have the actions and show what they've been doing. Not a person that's been showing to be a fucking rapist, a fucking sexual assaulter, a fucking con man, a fraud, a fucking liar. Like, you saw all those signs and said, yup, that's the one. And then you saw Harris and you said she's not qualified. I don't know, man. It's just like, it's weird to me because it's just like, how do you have so many people under your control? How do you have so many Republican representatives in control? So much that they're lying to their constituents, talking about we're not cutting Medicaid, we're not cutting Medicare. And the first thing they voted was to cut Medicare and Medicaid. Because this midterm is special and it's gonna have a lot of fucking ramifications. But the thing is, it's gonna be Democrats that win. Democrats is gonna take over they're gonna take over the House. Just face it, the Republicans is not gonna have their way through. The problem is look, this is the momentum and this is the thought process that everybody has to have right now. You're gonna vote in 2026. That's the thought process everybody should have. I'm gonna vote in 2026. I don't care who you are, what state you from. Your thought process should be for these midterm elections, I'm gonna vote. But what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna vote for somebody that already voted against me. That's it. You got from now, said I might want to restart. Like what, restart the live? I don't know. Oh. Nah, I ain't restarted no live. I don't like look, the people that listen to me right now, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all the people that I support, that I want to support and I want to educate. I don't want to bring in dumb people. I don't want to bring in MAGA. That's why it says move on with MAGA, but what people need to vote for, Aaron, what people need to pay attention to right now, what they need to pay attention to is, hey, you have till November of 2026. It is August of 2025. You have to look at your representation. You have to look at and figure out like, yo, is my representation up for vote this year? Okay, that's the first thing. We got to find out do I need to vote? That's one of the first things that everybody need to figure out. Do I need to vote right now? 2026, I got a senator that might go and I got a couple of representatives. All right, cool. I got those. All right. I'm in whatever district, whether it's Democrat or Republican. I don't give a shit. Who did they vote for? What did they vote for? You could go to congress.gov and all you got to do is look at everything from 2024 or 2025 of June all the way to basically I would say August. Don't, because September they're not really going to do anything. You got to look at the situation like, oh, what did my representative do from the day Donald Trump took over till today? I voted for him because he said he wasn't going to get rid of Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. They didn't touch Social Security, but they did touch Medicare and Medicaid, right? Now, what do I got to do? Oh, yeah, they passed a big, beautiful bill. Let me see how they voted for the big, beautiful bill. And what am I going to do? You're going to go down the list and you're going to find to see if one of those people that's up for election, their name is on the yes vote. Because then now you have proof and you have documentation, you have evidence of that person lying to you. Now you can see that that representative actually voted to take away your benefits. So you know what? I can never vote for you again. All I know is I'm going to look into who these other candidates are now, and I'm going to find one that will support me better. One that has a track record of supporting me. One that has a track record of actually working for the community. Or working in the town, the district, anywhere. Somebody that I actually, you know what? I actually seen their face in person. Not on the TV screen, not on the fucking pamphlet. Somebody that I actually seen doing the good work that they say they're gonna do for me. Not the people that say, hey, I'm gonna do this and they haven't. or I'm gonna do this and I'm not gonna fucking help you, or I'm gonna lie to you and tell you I'm gonna do something and then do the complete opposite. Because that was a lot of the hypocrisy that right now has MAGA and the Republicans squirming. That's why they want to gerrymander seats. And you can see they did it in Texas. But in Texas now, since people are turning, they gained 5 seats that they could make GOP. But now what they did is that they opened it up because now it's 10 seats that are going to be voted for, not just the 5. So now the Republicans are hoping that they can win all 10 seats. If they've already been lying to their constituents and been taking their benefits, you think they're going to get 10 seats? Fuck no. But they're going to get some because there's going to be some dumb people that don't do the research, don't look into what they did, or don't look at the fact that they actually voted to take away those benefits that now they're saying they're going to work to fix. The other thing, like people like Marjorie Greene Taylor, Butch Body, Bad Bill, whatever the fuck you want to call her dumbass. You notice how now she has the rhetoric of, oh, I think the Republicans here are anti-women. No shit, bitch. It took you this long to realize? Oh, but what do we know? What do we know? What's going on with Marjorie Greene Taylor? What's good with Bad Bill, huh? She's up for re-election. Would you look at that? The one person that said, oh, we got to make sure to cut this, we got to make sure to cut that. All of a sudden, she's saying, oh my God, these people don't like women. You still voted with the same people. You didn't vote no. You feel that they don't care for women and you still voted to go against women. But now you want to say that the party's against you. Nah, you just lying because you know all your constituents is like, bro, I'm broke. You said you was going to help me with some money. Ain't shit coming to us. We actually losing money. And you want to get reelected? Because now you want to play the, oh, women ain't being taken care of card, but you voted for women not to be taken care of? But that's the thing. In those situations, you're going to have those dumbasses that still going to vote for her. Even though she bold-faced lies. Exactly, puppy. They weren't anti-women when she was like, hey, I'm cool with Roe v. Wade being fucking taken down. What'd she say then? She didn't, hold on. So you mean to tell me she didn't realize that that was one of her rights she was stripping? And you mean to tell me people voted for this dumb bitch? Like, come on now, explain that. You mean to tell me her dumb ass did not know she was voting for something? Oh yeah, I forgot. Most of them didn't even fucking read it. I forgot, remember that? Most people got the bill and didn't even read it and they just signed off on it. What does that tell you? If your damn senator, representative, no matter what, just said that this big ass bill that is going to be a big change for all the people in this country, I didn't even fucking read. You can't make this shit up. It's like you can't even make it up anymore. It's like that's the ploy, and that's the thing that so many fucking people are gonna stop on. That's why you see only got 21 people, because they don't want people listening to me. They don't want this shit being passed out to everybody to understand, like, damn, you got lied to, maybe you should learn this shit. They were gonna go along with it no matter what, but they told you they weren't, and they voted against it. That's why they don't push lives like mine. I make too much fucking sense. I make people actually learn and actually see what the power they have to actually influence change. I can't influence change by myself. I can teach people and they can teach that person and that person teaches that person, and then you just keep teaching everybody and not everybody knows. Oh shit, Bad Bill Butch Body is fucking full of shit. I understand why she's full of shit now. It's not that they don't like her. It's just that she's full of shit. I saw what she signed. I actually read all how she voted. And it's like, damn, every single thing that would have actually helped me be more successful in life, she voted no. She voted yes to make sure your granddad and grandma have to struggle in their later years after all the work they did. Mike Johnson voted yes, even though being in one of the poorest states that needs most of that help. And he said he wasn't going to take it away. What'd he do? He voted to take it away. Some of these people just got voted in. The problem is that they're going to stay in that seat for a couple more years because some people got voted in this past year. So if they got voted in this past year, you got to deal with these dumbasses for a couple more years. But what needs to happen is that we need to start cleaning the swamp. If you pass retirement age, your seat is over. I don't give a fuck if you good or not. If you over the retirement age, we need to vote them out. If they in their 60s, vote them out. Because you have a minimum, right? You have a minimum. They have to be, to be in Congress, you have to be at least 21, I believe. To be president, you have to be at least 35. So I'm eligible. Just saying. But you have to be a certain age to be able to get into Congress, right? You have to be a certain age to not be able to get in. That's simple. And the only way that happens is that everybody that's been, if you've been in Congress for more than 20 years, it's time for some fresh blood. It's time for somebody new. It's time for somebody younger. Somebody that can think better. Somebody that was actually born in the age of the fucking digital age and wasn't there when they didn't even have cell phones. Put it like this. If you were in Congress before the fucking iPhone came out, you need to go. If you were in Congress before everybody was playing fucking Snake on that fucking Nokia phone that can withstand a fucking nuclear blast, you need to fucking go. Because I know your ass was playing Snake, because that's the only thing we fucking had on those fucking phones. You ain't have no fucking smartphone. You ain't have no face recognition. You ain't have no backwards compatibility fucking charging. Nah, bro, these people don't even know how to use a fucking computer. And you mean to tell me you want to have these people making sure AI is controlled? You wouldn't want somebody that actually knows how to use the shit? You want to have some dusty ass old people that don't know how to use the fucking phone, still probably type like this, thinking it's a fucking typewriter, and you want, come on, bro. Are you serious? Yeah, my cat fell asleep. He can't even believe all the shit I'm saying. Man, it's just like that. It's crazy. Nah, it's not even 30 years or 25 years. Aaron, it's basically you got 2 terms. The most anybody has 2 terms. The president can't go past more than 2 terms. Nobody else can go past 2 terms. That's it. Everybody serves 4 years. That's it. If you over 21, no, if you 18, cause shit, I can go to war at 18. That means I could be a fucking senator at 18. So from 18 to fucking 55, that is the fucking age range you gotta be to serve in the fucking United States fucking government. In Congress as a representative or whatever. If you pass 55, bro, you nearing fucking retirement age, you shouldn't be worrying about politics. You should be worrying about your next vacation, where you going, or how you gonna get to your grandkids' fucking graduation or some shit. That should be your fucking concern. Not how am I gonna steal more money from the people that need it. I was like, these people are old, bro. If most of these people were still around during the fucking civil rights movement and they haven't done anything to fix the civil rights movement or add to it, isn't that telling enough? Like, you haven't put any legislation up to actually help the people? And you still there? But I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. I'm gonna leave it at that. People just gotta do that. It was just like the next title is just gonna be like how to move forward. Fuck it. And just have people talk about it. Cause it oh no, puppy. There's not gonna be money for certain people. You smart. You know how to save money. This is when your discipline is gonna come in. Cause you educated. You know the stupid shit that's gonna happen. You actually look into or listen to people that be like, you know what? They've been saying this, so you know what? Let me prepare. Don't be as dumb as MAGA is and don't fucking prepare. Cause if you know prices is gonna go up, buy the shit you need to buy. Don't buy nothing else. You wanted that, but you ain't need it. That's where that discipline is gonna go. This is how people survive when these tough times. It's not by trying to work harder, it's by making sure their survival instincts are there to make sure that they are making sure that their money is taken care of and what they need is taken care of. This is the time where you are living way below your means. Because it's going to get rough. Hospital bills is going to go up. Medical bills is going to go up. Property taxes is going up. And that's one of the things most people ain't talking about. Everybody's talking about, oh, taxes here, tariffs there, but nobody's paying attention to their states, how all their states are raising state taxes. Or all their rates are making their property taxes higher. Why? Because, oh, the community just happens to have their stuff worth more money, so that means we can tax y'all more because it's worth more money. Ain't nobody living the 1%. I don't live in the 1%. I don't make millions of dollars. I make enough. I make enough that I can take care of myself and my family. You can always make more, but are you going to sacrifice yourself, your health, your family to make more when you could just do with less? That's a thing right there people got to think about. Am I going to work harder to make sure I don't have those things to be able to take care of myself or not? Your electric bill, yeah, I'm telling you, they're raising it. They're making everything expensive because they want people to struggle. It's going to be like the Great Depression all fucking over again. And watch there be another fucking pandemic after it happens too, to make it more chaos. COVID was just a test run. Now, if you ain't got a job, you ain't got money, you ain't got medical benefits, you ain't got fucking school benefits, you need electricity. Slowly making it that it's just like, yo, everything's terrible. And then Donald Trump is going to hit MAGA with the, I got the remedy. Like, bro, you put us in this fucking problem. But MAGA's going to be too stupid to be like, oh, yeah, he's going to fix us. Hopefully they get fixed. How? I don't know. But as always, y'all, I'll leave y'all on that. Be good to one another. Take care of one another. Look out for one another. Love one another. Stay marvelous while doing it, y'all. I'm just Cruz. We got a lot of work to do. Y'all have a good night. Peace. Till next time, y'all. Appreciate y'all as always. I appreciate everything y'all do. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Just spread the word, educate people, just help people because we got to get this shit going. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do. But I appreciate y'all. Appreciate all the gifts. Appreciate all the love, all the support. I'll be back. I'll keep on making videos as best I can. I'll try to do it, but peace. Should go. I just ended it and it didn't end. Like what the fuck?